Hey, come catch this wave with the Fixx squad. The Fixx is in. I'm Mr. Soul, I'm tuning in. What you doing?
Got him. Look, real hip hop revealed that it fits. Pure, you can feel it in the mix. Finally start pushing the culture forward. This is it. Proceed at your own risk. Got him. Beats, bars, and life, giving them truth in it. Screaming revolution with only a few minutes. My sentiments exactly everything that we do clutch. Another reason to turn the volume up.
Yes, sir. Welcome back. DJ Focus, Dice Gamble. You tap back into the Fixx, your source of faith-infused hip-hop, R&B, and poetry right here on Siriusxm, channel 154, Holy Culture Radio. And y'all know what time it is. It's time for our spiritual detox. And Dice, we got a special one today. You know how I am about my sports, and you know how I am about my teams. Don't play games.
I'm not.
I'm born and raised. Let's be very clear. Everybody who don't know me, let me just reintroduce myself. I'm born and raised Cleveland, Ohio. Okay. I'm all about our teams. Don't talk about my Brownies. Don't talk about my Cavs. Don't talk about my Guardians. And leave OHIO out the way. I promise you, put some respect on that. So yeah, I'm excited. We get a chance to talk about faith in sports today. And listen, so I feel a certain way because he played on the team that I got some issues with. But we're gonna talk about that. I love him still though. In Jesus' name, I promise you, I still love him. But we still got to talk about this whole why he chose to go to up there.
Right.
Yeah, up there. I can't even say it. No, I ain't gonna start the day off that way. But listen, I'm excited to welcome in. Listen, a super talented former Michigan standout and now Cleveland Browns player, Daylen Baldwin. What's going on, bro?
How you doing today?
Man, I'm good, man. I appreciate you coming through, kicking it with us this morning.
Yeah, no problem, man.
How you been, man? Welcome to Cleveland, man.
I appreciate it. I've been here.
Yeah, a little bit.
It's gonna be a year in August.
Yeah.
Yep. I got here like midway through training camp. I came in off a workout.
Yep. So speak to that dynamic though, just being an undrafted free agent and being able to sign, because a lot of people who may not know, you still get an opportunity if you don't get drafted. Speak to that a little bit.
Really, it's about staying patient. That whole process is pretty tough because everybody obviously want to get drafted, but it ain't enough spots. It ain't enough spots on the team, and it's really about what you do when you get there. For me, my coach actually came to me about 3 weeks after I was there. I was doing really well. He was like, "Daylen, you was only supposed to be here for a week. You weren't supposed to be here for long." You know what I'm saying? And for me, that was like, I'm an implement guy right now. Like, I prayed over my plays. I prayed every day before practice. I prayed every night. Like, and when I was remembering my plays, I didn't mess up. I didn't have an MA, like a missed assignment, until about week 8 into the season. So it was just God just playing through me, honestly. Like, people don't understand that. Like, it's not me. So it was definitely a tough process, but I'm happy I stayed on the team. I was on practice squad most of the year last year. Got one game active against the Ravens. I had number 17. Now I got 87 now. So it's been going well.
That's awesome. Listen, you're talking about foundation and prayer and all these things. Where did that come from? Like, who taught you that?
So, man, I went to church a little bit as a kid. My mom is a Jehovah's Witness. Okay. So I went to the Kingdom Hall a little bit as a kid. Nothing too crazy. I was in there asleep. Like, I wasn't in there paying attention. I'm going to be honest with you. So when I got to college around my freshman year, my coach, Ron Dickerson Jr., who was like my spiritual mentor to this day, he kind of was spoon-feeding me just a little bit at a time. Not really forcing on me, but just saying like, "Hey, turn to the Bible, turn to the Bible." All right, cool. I didn't really pay too much attention to it. Sophomore year, at Morgan State, I'm not doing as well as I wanted to. I was there, but I wasn't doing well for real, and that was my only one Division I offer. So that's where I went. So I followed him down to Jackson State. He was my receiver coach. He went down there to be the OC, and I couldn't play the first season there because I had to sit out because I transferred, and this before the transfer rule came through, and I got depressed, and he was like, "All right." I literally came to God. I said, "Look, if you real, I need you to show me right now because I ain't got too much more left." Like, that was literally the conversation that I had with him. And from there on out, he just slowly but surely showed me that he real, showed me that he's here with me. He's been with me this entire time, honestly. And shortly after, he kind of let me know that I was going to go to the NFL, even though I didn't have the stats that everybody else got. Like, in all honesty, my college stats in total probably were like one season of somebody else's college stats. So it just took a lot of faith, and I understood like what he was doing in my life, and I just kind of let him really take control. Ups and downs between that time, but I really let him truly take control of my life.
Listen, thanks for sharing that. That's super dope. Yeah. I do want to go back though. Speak a little bit more to the mental health part of it, because I heard you say you were depressed, and we talk about mental health all the time on the show. Like, what did you really do? So, like, outside of the spiritual element, did you seek therapy?
Nah, I ain't even seek no therapy.
Okay.
That Bible was my therapy.
There you
That
go.
was like
There we go.
Okay.
that was like the healing that I needed for real. And it was, it's funny because it was contradicting. But I also, the main things like I tell people who are going through depression, stay out your room, be around people. During a Bible study, I will always go out on the plaza. I sit and read a book, which I was able to observe a lot and just really be quiet and be patient for real. But being in my room didn't help at all because you closing yourself in, you leaving yourself in this environment. If I was in my room, I was playing a game or I was asleep. That was the only time I was really in my room. I tried to stay in my room as much as possible. But for me, man, I just kept praying. I got really close to God, man. Like every day, I got closer and closer to God, and that's what helped me. And a lot of people do this when they're down. They get close to God. When they up, they kind of fade away from Him. So that's what I did when I was doing good in football. I kind of faded away a little bit, and not as far as me watching my sermons and doing certain things, but just listening to the commandments, doing things that I know I shouldn't have been doing. You know what I'm saying? So that was a big thing.
That's good. That's good. No, I appreciate you sharing that. A lot of people need to hear that message about depression. I mean, when you're talking about fame and you're talking about playing any type of game, everybody just thinks you're on a high all the time. So thank you.
Man.
Thank you for being transparent.
It's definitely not that.
Yeah. So how did you end up in Michigan? You know, you at Jackson State. How did you end up in Michigan?
So when I was at Jackson State, I kind of had some disagreements with the coaching staff. I don't talk too much about it. I didn't like how they treated the guys that was there with me because there was a new staff that came in when I was the staff Deion Sanders had.
Right.
Like he had came in after. I didn't like the way he was treating the guys that was there already. And I'm a big person on if somebody show you who they are, believe them. You know what I'm saying? So I knew I wasn't going to stay there after that season was over with. Or honestly, before the season even ended. I got in a transfer portal and my name blew up. And the biggest thing that Michigan actually told me was, well, out of everybody in the transfer portal, you didn't have anything bad about you. Out of everybody, like you treated everybody well. Nobody had anything bad to say. Random, like I'm like, dang, that's crazy. Like, but also I do treat people well. Like, I don't disrespect people. You know what I'm saying? And no matter what they do to me, I don't disrespect people. So they had offered me, when I say Ohio State had offered me first. I went to Penn State, Ohio State, and Michigan in a 3-day span. So I went from being at a HBCU to seeing 3 of the biggest college stadiums in a 3-day span. So that was a blessing.
And what
within
happened at
itself.
Ohio State that you did? He would throw that out here.
Let's be real.
I
I worked out there. I was there and everything, but I was being real with myself, and I couldn't go from being a star player to not playing. And I'm gonna be honest with you, there's no way you're moving around your 3 top draft picks, and they got another one coming up. It's no way you're gonna tell me, honestly, you about to tell me I'm gonna get the ball. And it was just
That's fair.
Yeah.
I
had to measure that in.
It's
and,
okay, focus.
It took, like I said, it would have took a lot for me because, in all honesty, that's my dream school. Like it was business. It was a business decision to go to Michigan, and also I prayed to God. I'm like, look, I don't want to chase no stats or nothing because I could have went to a Kent State, a MAC school, cut up. You know what I'm saying? Had 2,000 yards receiving, something crazy. You know. So, for me, I was like, take me to a place that's gonna make me the best version of me and make me the best football player I could be.
Wow, that's good.
That's
and
good.
when I like sat down and really thought about it, I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna go to Michigan. And honestly, didn't turn out how I wanted it at all, but I knew it built me for something else, and it allowed me to really attest to my faith. And I remember this specific thing to where I had to speak on my faith and speak on like what happened. It was a freshman who was starting above me that game, my boy Andre Anthony. He at Oklahoma now. He came to me. He was like, hey, Daylen, like, do you feel like dude's gonna feel a certain way that I'm starting and stuff like that? I'm like, look, first of all, don't ask somebody else that question because they gonna hate on you 9 times out of 10. That's what people do. And I'm like, look, bro, God told me my junior year when I was at Jack State, he told me I was gonna go to the league, bro. You good? Just go ball. Like, you know what I'm saying? And that was probably one of the first times I really spoke on my faith and really believed everything that I said. And I held on to that promise, and he delivered.
Listen, stay right there. We're going to come back to that. That's good because we got to talk a little bit more about Jackson State. Listen, DJ Focus, Dice Gamble, you tapped into the Fixx right here on Siriusxm, channel 154. We got to go to a quick break. We're coming right back with more from Daylen Baldwin. Keep it locked. You tuned into the Fixx.
And the Fixx is in.
Holy Culture Radio. We're not just background noise. We play the music that inspires you because every song has a story. Christian hip-hop and R&B music and talk on Siriusxm channel 154, 24 hours a day. Holy Culture Radio is changing the game. Discussions about faith, arts, vocation, and education. We talk about the real issues that affect our communities and work together to find solutions. Join the discussion at holyculture.net and be heard.
Welcome back, DJ Focus, Dice Gamble. You tap into the Fixx right here on SiriusXM channel 154, Holy Culture Radio. Listen, we still got Cleveland Browns wide receiver Daylen Baldwin kicking it with us. So, Daylen, we got to talk about it, man. Talk about the dynamic of going to Jackson State, being around Deion Sanders, because I know you were around him for a little bit, right? So, like, I think a lot of people, you know, we see what we see on Instagram and what's posted, but what was that environment and that culture like, really, like being in that locker room with Deion and him being so inspirational? Okay, yeah, let's go then. Come on,
got his...
exclusive. Listen, I ain't got my bomb. I feel like it's so good. No, keep it up then. Speak your piece.
Nah, it got his goods and his bads to it. It was some things that I did like, some things I didn't like. It obviously was like, all right, you got one of the greatest football players. You have the greatest football player ever.
Come on.
In all honesty, he revolutionized the sport for having that swag. You know what I'm saying? And playing that, being yourself and really balling.
Yeah.
So
dance running. Let's be very clear. Who can high step 15 yards and you can't catch him?
You already know.
He's the greatest. He one of the greatest ever, man. And it was definitely a crazy having around. It was probably we probably had that spring. I played that spring season, so it was probably like 6-7 games. Probably it took me about game 4, game 5 to understand. Okay, he really my coach. It's cool. Like, but you would just walk past the locker room, you just see him, you stare like, bro, that's really Deion Sanders. He really coaching me, bro. Like, it's crazy. So it was definitely like a starstruck moment of understanding, like, oh, that's really him, you know. And that was the up part of it. He was also fixing things around when I was there, which I didn't really get to experience everything fixed already. He was fixing a lot of things, make sure we was eating in the right spots, making sure the dorm was treating us right, making sure we had places to stay. He was trying to fix a lot of stuff. But in all honesty, I didn't reap the benefits of it, and like I didn't get the best treatment out of it either. So I didn't like how I'm being treated, bro, matters to me. I don't care. Like, you could say, oh, you better appreciate what you got. What? You tripping? Like, I ain't gonna lie to you. I don't believe in that, because we should, as humans, we should hold ourselves to a higher value, to a higher standard of things. So when I was leaving, they was basically telling me they want to like partial my scholarship. Before, like when I was there. That's what really made me leave. I'm like, man, y'all crazy. Y'all looking at me crazy. I just gave y'all my best season that I had in college football ever.
Wow.
In 6 games, I had like 530 and 7 touchdowns. So like I'm balling. I'm like, what you mean? And I didn't like that. And I'm like, look, bro, I don't stand for, like, I stand on my word. I stand on my business. My mama not paying for school, and I'm not paying for school. You tripping? I'm out of here. And I went to go get whatever offer that I wanted. And a lot of the offers didn't even come through because I committed to Michigan so fast. But Utah had called me. Auburn had. Every school I could think of had called me. It was my bad. Okay. Every school I could think of had called me. But like any other coach, he treated some of his players better than the others, like, in all honesty. I didn't like that. And like I said, you show me who you are, I'm going to believe you. And that's generally what it was. But I had a great time there, understanding that some people did appreciate the little things that he did, understand, and just appreciate him coming there. You know what I'm saying? But I had a bigger dream for myself. I had a bigger journey for myself. I also feel like it's some guys who ended up leaving Jackson State who never got an opportunity to play again. Some guys that he kind of kicked off the team, never got another opportunity to play again. And I don't like that. That hurt me, because some of those guys' only offers was Jackson State. But you bring 5, 4 stars guys in here who got opportunities to go to other schools already, bro. They at other schools, or they at bigger schools, or they're going to bigger schools. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. Some guys' only offer is going to be Jackson State, and I feel for those guys because I'm one of those guys. You get what I'm saying? I'm the back end guy. I'm the guy one Division I offer kind of came in off a workout, you know? Yeah. And you got all these guys. You bringing all the front runners in. To me personally, and don't get me wrong, some of those guys are my homeboys to this day. I still mess with them, but I don't like the way he did it, you know, and the way that he portrayed to I'm gonna get HBCU guys a chance. Well, you just bring a bunch of 5 stars and 4 stars here. That's all you did. You didn't get the HBCU guys a chance, and I didn't like that personally. So it's all, I just want anybody to know who hearing this, it's personal. It's not about what he did and what he's doing for HBCU, because he did a lot, he's done a lot. But I personally did not like it. That's my piece on it.
Did you get a chance to talk to him before you leave, or have you had the opportunity to, just talk? Because I feel like you speak passionate, and I feel like you need some closure on that. Maybe I'm hearing it different, but
I ain't get to speak to him. I ain't need no closure on it. Nothing. Good. I'm fine. I know where I stand. I know where I'm supposed to be, and I know where God led me to. And I had to sit down and really pray on it. I was mentally, I was in a mental bind, because a lot of people around me were saying you should stay. A lot of people around me saying, you should leave because they're trying to do this. Like everybody like, well, you running, blah, blah, blah. What I'm running from? You tripping. I hold myself to a higher standard than you. That's the only thing you don't understand. So I had to really understand this is my life. And everybody can put their 2 cents in, but I had to understand and I had to go my journey, and I'm here now. So it worked out for the best.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah.
I'm just in awe. Because everybody doesn't have that drive. Everybody doesn't have that separation to say, okay, yeah, I got a superstar coach. I know I could stay here. I could do A, B, and C, but this is not where I should. I feel it on the inside. Everybody doesn't have that. And I know you got a lot of pushback, like you just said, from your family and friends. Like, how did you deal with that? Like, how did you share with them the same thing you just shared with us? Like,
I looked them in their eyes. I told them what God told me. And if you got anything to say about that, keep it pushing. I'm good. I don't need to hear your 2 cents. I'm telling you what God told me to do. It was funny. So my mom's my biggest supporter, but she's like she's my fact checker. So she gon' question me to make sure I'm really standing on what I believe. You get what I'm saying?
Shouts out to all the moms.
come on
I
now.
just wanna say-
Happy
shout out to my
Mother's
mom.
Day.
That's
Once
every mom.
again,
That ain't
everybody's
every mom.
mama.
That's every mom.
For real
Where
though.
you say you at? Don't worry.
Yeah, and it was like I was actually waiting to get the call from Cleveland, and I had XFL, CFL, I had a whole bunch of other opportunities, USFL, and I'm like, they were coming, they were going, they were coming, they were going. I'm like, and they weren't working out, and I'm like, yo, Mom, I'm supposed to be patient right now. Like but she also seeing me mentally messed up, not being able to practice, and it's camp starting for the NFL, and I'm hurting, like you know what I'm saying, like mental breakdowns, everything, and she like, no, but a mom's. This is what I had to understand. A mom's instincts is to save her child. So get him out of this immediately and get him somewhere to be happy. And I'm like, no, like God put you in a storm. Like, no, sometimes you gotta sit in there.
Yeah.
You can't just up and leave. No, sometimes you gotta sit in there. I sat in there and I waited. Cleveland called, told my mom and dad, I'm like, I'm not coming back. I'm telling y'all right there, I'm not coming back. It's over with. I'm going and I'm gonna be here for the rest of the season.
Wow.
So they had to bring my clothes down there a couple months later after camp ended.
That's awesome.
You speak so powerful about your faith, and I thank you for sharing that.
Yeah.
Have you gotten any kickback from that for being so bold about speaking about your faith? I know you in locker rooms. I know you around, a little bit of everybody. Have you ever gotten any kickback saying, why do you speak so boldly about your faith so much?
No, not any kickback, honestly. But it's been like moments where it'd be like, well, they just don't believe in what I believe. But when you really like look at the Bible, it's certain people who do get kickback, but it's certain people who don't get no kickback, and people believe exactly what they're saying.
Yeah.
Being around, I got a couple other guys in my locker room as well who believe in God, who believe in Jesus, and it definitely helps having guys like that around who really read the Bible. So I having conversations with them, I'm learning a lot because a lot of them are older than me.
Yeah.
So I'm really like being patient, like, oh dang, all right, cool. Like I'm learning these different things. I'm like, this is interesting. But I never really got any kickback for the most part. I kind of been helping God people ever since the last podcast that I had. I dropped a little snippet of that, and a lot of people been coming to me asking like to help me mentor them and stuff like that. So that's been the biggest blessing for real. Like I just been talking about, like after I leave practice, I pretty much talk about God all day. Whether it's talking about different verses, different like what God can do for you in your life, like whatever it may be. That's been the biggest blessing. I haven't got too much kickback, honestly though.
That's good.
So you said something on the podcast. I got to bring it back up because we talk about relationships all the time on here.
Yeah.
So I got to bring it back up. So for you, when was that moment where you felt like, okay, there was a certain standard of woman that you choose to date? Like, how do you go about courting and dating? Talk about the process a little bit.
Well, right now I'm in a season of singleness, so like I've been understanding for a long time. I was always talking to somebody. I was dealing with
If
somebody.
y'all don't hit this man, catch up. The man say, "Listen, I'm single and I'm good.
And I'm good.
Stay where you at, Jazzy. Stay where you at, Jazzy."
Man, nah, but I was in and out of a lot of relationships, never really healing, just jumping from one girl to the next, doing whatever I really wanted for a long time, and I never understood that I really need to be single and be on my own, and I really just came to that realization over really the last couple months. Just really left the relationship that I was in, dealing with, and like. From there on, I'm like, look, I know I need to be single. So I'm really just enjoying that, understanding who I am and understanding. And don't get me wrong, I have a great understanding of who I am, but it's really about that relationship with God. So I've been like focused on that, and that's been my relationship. So it's another thing that happened after that podcast that dropped. My DMs was going crazy.
Yeah, I know they
DMs
was
going crazy, right?
I know they was.
So like, it's funny because that never happens unless I'm in a relationship. Then I had really dawned on. I'm like, I'm in a relationship with God. That's why this happening.
Nice.
Like this never really happens unless I'm in a relationship with a woman. That's the only time my DMs look like that. And it was just funny because I'm like, I'm really in a relationship with God and we really locked in on this thing, So that's been the biggest thing. But when I came to that realization of understanding that I needed a different woman is when I understand that I was different. I'm not like everybody else. Like, I'm not the normal dude. I can't do the normal things that people do. I can't go out and party all the time. I can't do that. I don't feel right.
Yeah.
People say, like, well, why don't you go out like that? Honestly, and I don't know how many people gonna believe this, but in the room full of people, I feel lonely when I'm in clubs.
Wow.
I feel lonely, like I know I'm not supposed to be there.
Yeah.
It don't feel right
Yeah.
to be there,
Yeah.
honestly. Even if it does feel right to be there, I know I'm not about to be there for long. I'm there to support somebody, and I'm headed the other way. But I don't feel right just being in there, being in the club, just chilling. So.
Well, I got 3 sisters, okay? And they're all younger than me. I'm the oldest. I'm just going to throw that out there. I mean, whenever the Lord say you have been released, I got 3, and they're not married, okay?
Priceless, the
all right.
dicer.
That's
3.
too funny, man. I'm only 23.
I know.
All right.
Whatever age you want, I got them. They out here. Wait,
man.
wait. I'm going to tell them to wait. Woo, this is good. Go ahead.
Yeah, it is. So let's talk about this season. What can we expect? Getting ready. I know you guys are just, in training camp and getting things together shortly here and there. What can we expect from the Cleveland Browns this year?
Man, we coming championship, man. I feel like
Let's
go.
go.
I know.
I feel like we really got that. Like,
Okay.
We got a good team. We got good chemistry building. Chemistry building immaculate right now. Like, that's the biggest thing I'm seeing. Like, as a team, we together. It's not spread out to not a whole bunch of individuals, but as a team, we just truly together. Which I don't think we had that last year. Not in all honesty, I don't think we really truly had that. And then Deshaun coming back, like,
Yeah.
we added some
Full
pieces.
season this year.
Full
Let's
season.
go.
We added some pieces at receiver. Man, we on to do something here. I ain't gonna lie. We added some guys who got Super Bowl championship experience as well. Juan Thornhill, one of our linebackers too. I think he was at LA, then he was at Houston, I think, or vice versa. So one of our linebackers too. But I think we added some championship experience in there. I think we got something going for real. I'm gonna be honest.
What's that one game you looking forward to? If your name is called to get in, what do you got already like a rival team that you looking forward to play against?
Nah, I'm a dude. I'm just gonna hit it like I hit it as it goes. So
Okay.
I'm trying to make active roster right now, me personally.
Okay.
So I'm looking at preseason. I got Hall of Fame game. Ain't nobody gonna be here. Ain't nobody else gonna be playing. It's gonna be us on that field, and I know I got to show out. So I'm looking at them preseason games more than anything. I go against my boy. One of my boys, Nick Whiteside, he played for Washington. He a corner.
Okay.
He a corner. So that's childhood. That's childhood.
Did you text him already? Tell him it's over. You tell him it's over.
We've been talking about
I
it.
see you.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, we've been talking about good jersey swap, all that. But I definitely got to see him and just really balling out those preseason games and making sure the team see my value and understand that I belong here and I need to be here. So that's the biggest thing I'm on right now.
What's that one inspiration you can give to a player who's young, maybe 10, 12 years old, aspiring to be where you are? Like, what's that one advice piece you would give them?
It's a lot. It's a lot I could say. The biggest thing I say is work hard. It says plain as day in the Bible, hard workers are rich, lazy are poor. Work hard. Work hard at what you do. Give your faith to God, and don't let nobody tell you can't do it. When I was around a lot of people who told me I can't do it. Coming up through Little League, I didn't. Oh, you can't catch. They put me at tackle. I couldn't catch. Little League, I played O-line my first 8 years of football.
Are you serious?
I play O-line. I know how to block for real.
Let's call the coach. Call the coach.
Yeah. So I couldn't I get to my high school. They was like, oh well, we think you should be DB. I get to my second high school. One of my coaches talked bad about me to another college coach. That happened too. Some of my teammates around me in high school told me I ain't good. They told me I made it farther than all of them. So it's been that, and I'm still cool with them. With some of them to this day. I didn't need them to see the vision. I'm not mad at them for not seeing the vision.
There we go.
But just understand, like, yeah, you told me I couldn't do it, and I did it better than you.
What would you have told yourself 10 years ago?
Believe in God. I wasn't there. If I could have had this one, I would have been all right.
You
That would have been good.
You slowed the process down.
Yeah, I could have slowed that process all the way down. Could have been a lot smoother, I think.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Actually, I know it would have been a lot smoother with him.
Wow.
That's the biggest thing, because all the things I had been through as a kid, I could just be like, all right, God is in control. He's doing this for a reason. Whatever. Now I got to figure it out. Nah, that's my approach to everything. Whenever God doing something, any little minute thing, even if I'm sitting in traffic for too long and I know I'm about to get frustrated, why is God doing it? All right, we're working on patience right now. Let me just relax.
Wow.
Come on now.
Man. Man, I wish I was, when I was 23, I was a heathen, Dice. Pray for me.
We know.
Man, my man got it figured out, man, at a young age, man. We appreciate you coming through, rocking with us this morning. Yeah. Tell the people how they can connect with you, follow you on all your social media platforms. Do you have any other, anything else you tied to, any nonprofit or anything else you want to shout out? You writing a book?
Nah, I ain't doing none of that. Okay. Not yet anyway, man. Okay. I'm going to slowly but surely get on the road. The biggest thing is that, another thing about being a hard worker, like I was listening to Chris Broussard, and I was talking, and we was talking. You have to be a hard worker to glorify God, because you won't be able to if you're not. So nobody questions LeBron James if he talks about God. Nobody questions Steph Curry if he talk about God. But if the dude on the end of the bench start talking about God and they tell him not to, and he don't, they cutting him. That's blatantly what it is. So Chris Broussard spoke out about God on they were talking about LGBTQ thing, and he was like, look, I don't believe in any form of fornication. And that's what he said. And I'm like, okay, I respect that. But he also, this is what happened. He left where he was at. He got paid more. He got a better show. He got a better segment. And that's something for me, is like, he spoke firm on his faith. No, he didn't get the result that he wanted, but he ended up getting something even better.
Wow.
And that's a huge thing for me, because I'm like, you seeing that in the flesh, and I've seen him at a conference down in Dallas, and I got to meet with him. And he's a great guy. So it's like things like that, to where you just stand on your faith. So.
No, that's good, and I appreciate you bringing that up, because we're all for. We're not for like disrespecting anybody or
not
any type of discrimination, but we do believe, to your point, we can agree to disagree, and if I have a different opinion on it, that doesn't mean I'm disrespectful to you or discriminating against you. So I agree with you wholeheartedly. Listen, DJ Focus, Dice Gamble. Listen, we appreciate y'all rocking with us. We got to go to a quick break. We coming back with closing thoughts. Keep it locked. You tuned into The Fixx,
and The Fixx is in.
Take offense, judge by the fruit from the tree. But if the fruit tastes like the streets, and money is the fruit that they speak, so tell me whose face do they seek? Repeat, take offense, judge by the fruit from the tree. But if the fruit tastes like the streets, and money is the fruit that they seek, so tell me whose face do they seek? The Fixx is in.